Hi, I'm Brad Ross, Head of Communications for the TTC, and with me is Andy Byford, the CEO of the TTC, and we're here at St Clair Station to talk about some significant work that's going to happen on St Clair that will affect the 512 St Clair, but Andy, also the subway station. So because of the work we have to do at the station, the streetcar will not be able to access it, so we're going to have to replace it with buses. How is that going to work and for what period of time?
Well, from June the 19th until December, all or part of the route will have to be replaced by buses. Now, from before Labor Day, the actual route gets split from Keele Street, from what we call Guns Loop, through to St Clair West. That reverts back to streetcar operation. But for the rest of the route, up until the end of the year, it will be a bus replacement service using accessible buses on that part of the route.
And Andy, there's lots of things that are going to be happening. We're going to be replacing the roof, but we're also doing track work, overhead work, the wires for the streetcars, platform work to make the stations accessible and ready for the new streetcars.
Well, that's the key thing. I mean, obviously we want to get the route accessible, but it's all to do with the deployment of the new accessible low-floor air-conditioned streetcars, which will happen on the 512 St Clair route in 2018, so it's good news.
In addition to the infrastructure work that is so critical in a station like this one that was built in 1954.
Well, absolutely. I mean, you can see it's beginning to show its age. We want to make this fit for purpose. We want to create a world-class environment for our customers.
Let's talk a minute about this station, and it will need to close to streetcar access. So we're going to have to replace the 512 streetcar with buses for a period of time. What will the 512 replacement bus service look like?
It will be a bus replacement service using accessible buses. We'll have plenty of signage and customer service assistance to make sure customers know what to do and where to go.
And Andy, because these streetcars were Presto enabled, we will have Presto readers on these buses dedicated to the 512 replacement service.
That's right. We're in the process at the moment of rolling out Presto on all of our bus fleet, but for the duration of this closure, we will make sure that we allocate Presto-equipped buses onto the route. What I would say to customers is also, please make sure you've got proof of payment.
So this route will be proof of payment throughout this period. That's good to know. We're going to head west now towards St Clair West Station, where we'll have a look at some of the work that will be happening there, as well as on the platforms on the right-of-way and the impact of bus service in that area. All right, Andy, we're here just outside St Clair West Station, where we will see a lot of work, and our customers will see a lot of work happening here. What exactly will we be doing here at St Clair West Station?
Well, there'll be a lot of work going on because this is all part of a comprehensive upgrade of the entire St Clair 512 streetcar route to make it fully accessible. So we'll be continuing our program of installing elevators to again provide easier access. We'll be installing fare gates, Presto-equipped fare gates. We'll be working on these ramps, completely redoing the tarmac and the concrete. We'll be working on the overhead wires. So this is a huge job and it really makes the route fit for purpose and fully accessible for the future.
So there's a lot of work happening here at St Clair West Station, and so it's not just the 512 that's affected, but the other bus routes that service St Clair West, the 33 Forest Hill, the 90 Vaughan, and the 126 Christie. Let's talk about the 90 Vaughan for a moment because that's going to see the biggest impact.
It will indeed. So the 90 Vaughan won't service St Clair West for the duration of these works. Instead it will start and finish at Bathurst Station. The 126 Christie and the 33 Forest Hill will still serve the area, but they won't go down the ramp. They will pick up at street level. We'll have lots of signage. We'll have lots of customer service assistance to make sure that customers know where to get the bus and make sure they get to where they need to go.
Now, before Labor Day, we're going to return streetcars to the western portion of the route from St Clair West to Guns Loop at Keele. So customers on the 512 coming from St Clair Station on a bus need to then transfer here down to the streetcar.
That's right. So from before Labor Day, effectively the route is split into two parts, half of it operated by buses and half of it operated by streetcars.
Customers will need to remember too that the buses will be operating on the street, not in the right-of-way, so they'll need to wait for and board buses at the sidewalk. We do run buses on the right-of-way in and out of St Clair West Station, but not through normal operation. Somebody may well ask, why can't we run the buses on the right-of-way? It will make things a lot easier for the movement
Well,
of the
that's
transit.
an entirely legitimate question, and we did look into that, but we've ruled it out for safety reasons. Number one, as you see, we've got poles in the center of the right-of-way that hold up the overhead wire. It's okay for a short section, but not throughout the whole route where buses would have to weave in and out on and off the right-of-way. It's just not safe operation. Secondly, it's a guideway. So the right-of-way was built for fixed rail vehicles, not for buses which are wider than streetcars. And thirdly, during the construction, there will be construction equipment and personnel in the right-of-way. So for that reason, we have to have our customers board and alight from buses on the sidewalk.
And the reason for that construction is because we need to do modifications, a 4-meter square modification for every platform to accommodate the ramp of the new streetcar. The length of the platforms is fine. It's the height for the ramp to ensure that people in mobility devices can safely enter and exit the streetcar.
That's right, and at the end of the day, this is all about making the entire route completely accessible.
And we are coordinating with the city, and light timings will be adjusted to help buses that will be operating in mixed traffic. So customers should leave themselves a little extra time throughout this period.
A bit of extra time, yes, but we, again, working with the city, we think that we can actually really push the traffic through east to west because those traffic light timings have been changed.
Now, one of the other key reasons why we can't use the right-of-way is because we are going to be doing work on the platforms to make them accessible or more accessible for the new streetcar. Andy, a lot of people have asked us over the last several years why we need to do that work, since we knew we were getting new streetcars when we rebuilt this route. Maybe just touch on that a little bit.
Well, we knew we were getting new streetcars. What we didn't know at the time, the design for the ramp, the accessible ramp, had not yet been finalized. So this work to build the right-of-way predated the arrival of the new streetcars. Now, clearly, you need the ramp to be able to deploy properly and effectively. So we just need to make adjustments to the islands, and that way we deliver a fully accessible 512 streetcar route.
And Andy, of course, being summertime, lots of patios and cafes. St. Clair is a great street, lots of shops to be patronized. We want people to come down to St. Clair. It's open.
It is, absolutely. I think St. Clair's fantastic. There's great cafes, great restaurants, and of course this summer we've also got the Euro 2016 Soccer Championships to look forward to. I'm certainly going to be up here watching the games. It's open for business. Come along and enjoy.
Excellent, Andy. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for watching. For more information on this closure and everything else you need to know about the TTC, please visit ttc.ca.